the kind that can't be measured by degrees. Rambling fever, there ain't no kind of cure for my disease. There's times that I could bed down on a sofa and let some pretty lady rub my back.
Welcome to round 2. Raise those torches and help us defend our fortress!
Pathetic! I've already taken the king's crown, and now I'm here to take something of yours. Fire! Your realm cannot help you now!
Fortress, raise your torches! Join me in restoring our energy!
Welcome to the Pints and Parlay podcast. My name is Mike.
I'm Aaron.
And welcome to episode 1, where this is your go-to shop to talk about Vegas sports, everything Vegas. Aaron, what do you want to start with today?
We'll go ahead and talk about the All-Star game today. So it was an interesting thing with this All-Star game. It's the very first time in All-Star game history that they went into extra innings. Mike, what do you think about the swing-off?
I think it's great. It was very exciting. I was watching some MLB Network today. They were talking about they should have this in the regular season. They were saying that for those extra inning games, that if it ever goes to 13 or 14, if anything longer than like the 14th inning, should go to a swing off.
That would be pretty cool.
And they mentioned this thing. If you think about it, how many bats are down in the minor leagues just sitting there and they can't get called up because they can just hit and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, you look at some of these position players, they got so many backups on backups on backups. Some of these kids are never going to get a shot at the majors until somebody gets hurt or gets traded. Although I am going to say that I wasn't too keen on Schwarber getting MVP because the rule is for the MVP that you have to, whatever happens between innings 1 through 9 should decide the MVP. Why? Because he goes 3 for 3 on the swing off. He went 0 for 2 in the game. How is he the MVP? I mean, granted, he won it for him, but still, that's not what the rule states.
Yeah, and I think if you think about it, there were a bunch of guys on the AL who led that comeback because they were down 6-0.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think it was like 5-1 the last time I checked before I was able to finish the game off.
But yeah, it's like, any of those guys that led a comeback, they should have been an MVP, not somebody in the swing off. But it was exciting. I think that was, like you said, the first All-Star game ever to go to a extra innings. And if you think about it, is that going to change how they do the All-Star game going forward?
It very well may. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd have liked to see some extra innings in the All-Star game just because it's more baseball. But I do think that the swing-off was pretty cool.
The rule for the swing-off, too, was interesting because it was guys who were currently in the lineup. So, like, how they replace these players in and out all game long because it's an exhibition. A lot of those guys, like Aaron Judge, Ohtani, they were already on planes going back to wherever they were going or their vacation. But, it was only bench players who hadn't played in the current lineup. So you have a very strategic way of like, oh, luckily the NL had Kyle Schwarber.
Right. Kind of makes it a little bit easier.
So let's kind of segue a little bit. Let's go to the trade deadline.
Okay. So who do you think is going to be buyers and who do you think is going to be sellers in the AL West?
I think, if you look at the AL West, I think it's the top two teams, the Mariners and the Astros. Astros are in it every year. You can't really count them out. And you always know that they're going to add a piece, whether it's pitching, a bat. Obviously, you being more of an Astros fan, what do you think their biggest need is right now?
Right now, I'd have to say relief pitching. I mean, our starters can get it going, but sometimes we fall off in the middle. But then we got one of the best closers in the league in Josh Hader. So I would think maybe mid-relief and maybe one or two extra bats. Hopefully Jordan comes back for us. But I'm going to not talk about the Astros so much. I think with the Mariners and Astros are going to be buyers, definitely. The Rangers, because they're still around 500 and they still got so many games to go, like to the midway through.
So I saw something interesting today. It was either today or yesterday. It was like a segment on MLB Network. And they were talking about like how the Rangers are just so middle that, I mean, if you look at the pieces that they have, they're not trading DeGrom. They're not trading Eovaldi. Because those are their two basic. I mean, DeGrom's back to his ace form. So you're not trading him. Eovaldi's too clutch in the playoffs. You're not trading him. And then you look at their bats. Simeon's been terrible. So it's been, who's going to take that big contract if you try to dump him? Same thing with Adolis Garcia. Adolis may have a little bit of value because he's on an expiring deal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, who's going to take that? And then they're not trading any of those other young pieces that they have. Their bullpen, ironically, has been very strong. So I think if they do buy, you have to add a couple bats to that lineup to give it some juice. And keep in mind, it is a every other year thing with Bochy.
That's true. So now we're going to go to the Mariners. Now, I saw this was online. The Diamondbacks, depending on how they're playing, might be willing to trade Eugenio Suarez. Does he go back to the Mariners, which is where he started his career? That would be a huge pickup for the Mariners because he's a good bat.
See, I don't trust the Mariners in a sense. Like, the Mariners do this thing every year. Like, they need a bat. They need a bat. They went and got Justin Turner last year, and Justin Turner did nothing.
Yeah, but Eugenio Suarez did play well for them, and he's consistent, and he's a third baseman, and he's a good third baseman.
Yeah,
I don't know how they are at the hot corner, really, but, I mean, to have their third baseman back.
They need third base, first base for sure. They need a couple more bats. Their starting rotation is arguably the best in the league.
Yep.
I mean, they're 5 deep. They have guys in the minors who could be in any other team's rotation. I mean, maybe they have one of the best closers in Munoz. Maybe they get another piece. Maybe they don't get another piece. But if they're starters and they can get Logan Gilbert, who's been hurt most of the year, back to his form, they need to add another power. Arozarena hasn't been it. He's, a slugger, but it's just not the same as it was that one postseason he had in Tampa. He hasn't really been able to replicate that. Julio Rodriguez is so up and down. You need somebody to protect Cal Raleigh.
Yeah. I mean, it can't just be him. I mean, he's blasting the ball. Don't get me wrong. But he can't be your only piece because one person's not going to win you playoffs.
And then let's talk about the Angels. Angels are interesting.
Yes.
Because for the first time in a while, they were hovering around that 500 mark. Trout's obviously been in and out of the lineup as he's been the last couple of years. Their pitching has been solid. Kikuchi has been really good for them.
Yeah.
He's been their best pitcher on their staff. Soriano has been decent. But it's like you look at their 3.5 back of the wild card, or 4.5 back of the wild card, and you look at, are they actually, last time they made a run for it, they ended up putting half those guys on waivers.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, Trout got hurt during that run. Yeah. That was I think the last year of Ohtani. That was when they traded for Lucas Giolito.
Yep.
And relievers like that. So it's like, they're going to repeat themselves. And then if they sell, they rush all these young guys up so much. They're not going to trade any of their young guys. They're not trading Trout. I mean, I've saw today that, Jose Soriano, the starting pitcher that they have, who's actually been pretty decent, he's been linked to Boston. There's Kikuchi. If they keep him, he's in the first year of a 3-year deal. So it's like, why do you trade him in year 1?
Right. You also got Taylor Ward, who's been playing pretty well all season. He's a youngish guy, but he's also solid. So he could be easily be a good trade piece.
Oh, I think so. He's been linked. I've seen him linked even to the Astros.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good outfielder. He would definitely bring a strong arm to the right field if you need it, or left. I think he's pretty much versatile in the outfield. So he would be a great piece for a team to get. Now let's talk about the A's.
So, our Vegas A's, baby.
Oh boy, these boys are in trouble. Now they got some good, solid young pieces, but at what point do you think maybe give up, let the Aviators come up and try? Because the Aviators are leading the minors in games won. I think their ERA is what, top 5 or top
They've
10?
been in top 5 in everything.
Yeah.
Whoever the A's call up and send down, they've just been lighting it up. The ball flies in Vegas in that 100-degree heat.
Right. So honestly, you got to think to yourself, when do you give some of the Aviators the call to see what they can do?
Well, I mean, if you think about it too, they're log jammed at a bunch of positions. They're not trading their shortstop, Jacob Wilson.
No, he's
They're
the
not
best
trading
hitter.
Nick
He's not
Kurtz.
going nowhere.
Nick Kurtz is not going anywhere, obviously.
No.
I highly doubt unless they get a haul, they're not trading Mason Miller.
No.
I mean, the
They
piece
might trade Severino.
Severino, I can see them trading. You have Gio Urshela, they could trade. They have Rooker.
Yep.
Rooker's been a big piece for them. He signed long term, but could they move him?
No.
They have a bunch of guys that are potential. I mean, if you want to go my personal route, the Red Sox route, they're buying.
Yeah.
They're buying.
Definitely.
They need a number 2 starter, and they need a first baseman.
Yep.
That's blatantly known. I mean, maybe Severino goes to Boston.
It's possible. I mean, there's some. I love the MLB trade line or the trade deadline because I mean, the Astros, we got Verlander at one point, and then we won the series with him. I mean, there's been some great pieces.
How
that
funny
we've
would it
gotten.
be though if the Red Sox got Severino from the A's, and you have in a playoff series against the Yankees, you have Severino starting and Chapman closing.
Both former Yankees. That would be interesting to say the least.
I think it'd be awesome, honestly. I mean, all right, let's segue into the biggest news I think Vegas had all offseason.
That's right. The acquisition of Marner to the Vegas Golden Knights.
How hyped are you?
Oh, I am so excited. Could you imagine what he's going to bring? He had more points than Eichel last season, and Eichel was by far our best player.
I mean, you throw him. I mean, I've seen projected lines all over the place where you see him playing with, the last line I saw him, you put Pavel Dorofeyev on one wing, Marner on another wing, and Eichel in the middle. Pavel had 35-plus goals last year. He was their leading goal scorer, which is unexpected. He came out of nowhere. If he can keep up the production, 1, that boy's going to get paid.
Yep.
And 2, you have a superstar in the middle with Eichel. And the funny thing is, Marner's only scored 30 goals or more, I think, twice in his career. Well, when you're passing to Austin Matthews, who's scoring 65 goals a year,
It's going to be hard for you to score goals.
You're choosing not to.
Well, yeah.
Your assist number is going to be so inflated. So imagine what he's going to be when he has Jack Eichel setting him up, because Eichel's not a shoot first person.
Oh, no. Eichel's definitely because Eichel can cut through the defenders like nobody's business. As long as you're swinging outside, he'll see you. He's got great vision on the ice. It's like he's got eyes all around his head, not just in the back, not just in the front, every angle, because he's seeing people all over the place.
When you look at the lines, you have, I mean, from everything I've seen, you got line 1 of Pavel on the left, Eichel in the center, Marner on the right. Then the second line, you have Barbashev, Hurdle, and Stone. That's a dominant second line.
Yeah. Then you got Smith, Carlson, and Kolesar maybe,
Or Brendan Saad.
Yeah.
Then that fourth line, you got Howden. You got a mixture of Howden, Holtz. You got Colton Sissons, who they traded for when they traded Nick Hague.
Yep.
You got a plethora of guys. And then you have some guys, I mean, they may sign another piece or two. I don't think they're done.
No. The sad news for Vegas, though, was the retirement of Pietrangelo.
Not officially retired.
Right. I mean, he hasn't officially announced it, but he sort of announced it. And he was a huge uplift to the city of Las Vegas when we got him from St. Louis. And so I think that's going to be a huge player to see go, just because he's meant a lot to the city. He's done a lot for the city.
Yeah, I think, even just his production and leadership, he's respected in any room he walks into, whether it's St. Louis, Team Canada, VGK. Like, you're going to listen to when he speaks.
Oh, definitely.
And it's hard to replicate leaders like that in any sport. So when you look at, you replaced him with Jeremy Luzon, who you traded Nick Hague for. Luzon is a interesting piece.
Yes.
He's a veteran guy who's been around for about 6 or 7 years. When he played for Cassidy in Boston, he had 300 hits. Like, he's just gonna abuse you.
Yeah. And honestly, he reminds me of McNabb, because that's how McNabb is. McNabb is, I'm slamming you into the glass. Be prepared.
And I think, they needed to get a little bit younger. They need to revamp. And I think if you look at the depth, I mean, Hutton's gonna potentially get some playing time this year that he really didn't get, or ice time that he didn't get last year. You look at Korzak. Korzak hasn't really gotten his full footing in the NHL yet.
Yeah.
He's going to get his shot. And they paid him.
Right.
They paid him, and he's
just based off his play that he
based off
had.
of his potential.
Yep.
So it's like, what do you see? Like, do you think this team is potentially deeper than the one that won the cup?
Honestly, yes, because you also got, on defense, you got Shea Theodore, you got Hannafin. I mean, the names go on and on. These dudes can play hockey. And also, with adding Marner into the piece, he's a great penalty. Like, he would be a great for our power play, because Vegas had the best power play, or second best in the league last year. And could you just imagine adding Marner into something like that for a power play? It'd be unbelievable.
But that's the thing. It's interesting because you have chemistry already. You're not really taking away any other than maybe Pietrangelo. You're not taking away any major piece that they have in that power play. So how do you fit him in? Obviously, he's a star.
Yeah.
So he can play with either power play 1 or power play 2. But how do you fit that in?
Honestly, I don't know what Cassidy's going to do, man. He's going to have a lot on his plate, because when you add another superstar in to your already star-studded lineup, it's going to be hard to choose who goes where.
It's a luxury.
It is.
Vegas fans are lucky when it comes to hockey.
Yes. I mean, we've from day one, we have been fortunate enough to have a great team in this city to freaking play for us, for us to have fans of. It's just been really awesome.
Let's kind of get off the hockey talk and a little baseball talk. Our favorite sport, baby.
Football.
It's a very interesting time to be in Vegas around the Raiders. They've not been, other than year 1 or year 2 when they had Derek Carr and Gruden, they've sucked.
Yeah, it hasn't been too good, guys.
And there seems like there's some excitement because they brought in Pete Carroll.
Yeah, and they got Geno Smith, who played for Pete Carroll in Seattle. I mean, granted, Max Crosby, obviously one of the best defensive ends in the league. But you got to think, too, with Pete Carroll in Seattle, he had the Legion of Boom. He doesn't really have that here, but he's still a great-minded coach. So I think he might be able to turn them around.
The interesting piece I want to see is their running game has been so terrible the last couple of years.
Genty.
Not just Genty, but Chip Kelly.
Yes. That will be very, very interesting to see how that goes.
Because what people don't realize, Chip Kelly was hired by the Raiders to go from Ohio. He was from Ohio State. Before that, he was the head coach at UCLA. Obviously, coached the Eagles and the 49ers in the NFL. He makes his NFL return. When you have an offensive mind like Pete Carroll, and you have an offensive mind like Chip Kelly, and then you give Chip Kelly a bright toy in Ashton Genty.
Nice and shiny.
It's going to be very interesting.
Yes.
And the expectations what do you think the expectations realistically should be for Ashton Genty?
As his position on the team, or what do you think he's going to do during the season? Because obviously
is he going to be a 1,000-yard rusher?
Well, he's obviously going to be most likely their 3-down back, because you don't draft somebody at number 6 to be the backup. He's going to be their 3-down first-string bat. He's got a chance. I mean, when he played for Boise State, he had 33, 36, almost 40 carries almost every game. So that's why his numbers were high. You can't necessarily get that many touches in the NFL, because otherwise they're just going to stuff you.
Well, it's interesting, too. I mean, he still broke 100 against Penn State, but the quarterback play at Boise was so terrible last year. Boise fans watching this, your quarterback's terrible. He looked good because he was protected by Ashton Genty. But it showed in that, that high-level game when they played in the CFP, when they had no respect for the quarterback. So when he had 8-man fronts, 9-man fronts, he was still getting 100. He still got 100 on Penn State. So it's interesting to see. One, I think it's going to be very quick. You're going to see very quickly how he can adjust.
Yeah, I think you're going to know by week 3 how he's going to end up being, because by that time the butterflies should be over. He should be set in his ways. The offense, the coaching staff, all should be. This is how we're going to have to play. So I think by week 3, week 4 at the latest, we're going to have a good sample size of what Ashton Jeanty will probably do in the league.
I mean, their first 3 games, you look at they play the Patriots on the road. They play the Chargers at home. Then they go to Washington. I mean, the Patriots defense, with all their free agent acquisitions that they had and the new hire of Mike Vrabel, that's a tough ass-kicking potential in week 1.
Yeah.
Like, Jeanty could get his welcome to the NFL moment in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then you got to go up against Harbaugh. Granted, it's in Vegas. There's going to be a lot of buzz, a lot of hype around him, especially if he does well week 1. Who knows? Then you got to go back to the East Coast and play Washington.
Yeah.
Washington's no pushover.
Oh, no. I mean, they went to the NFC Championship game. It's going to be – they've made some acquisitions over the offseason.
Yeah, they
They got my boy Laramie Tunzel, although he is very penalty-prone. Still one of the best left tackles in the league, but his holding is what's going to – false starts and holding is going to hurt him. But you got 3, like you said, 3 tough games because, I mean, still against San Diego – I'm sorry, LA. You got you still got to face Justin Herbert, and that's on the defense because Justin Herbert is still a top 7 quarterback.
Well, I mean, if you look at their staff, they have not Brandon Staley, they have Harbaugh, who's a hell of a defensive coach.
Yep.
So it's like and Harbaugh obviously wasn't not in college 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm sure he has plenty of. I'm sure he tried to get Jeanty out of the portal.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Legally or not, he tried to get Jeanty when he was at Boise State. So
It's possible, yes.
but let's look at their division. Realistically, if you count Geno Smith as a very good quarterback, which he's a respectable quarterback, he's a more respectable than Aiden O'Connell or who else did they have start last year? Desmond Ridder.
Yeah.
And I think they had
Minshew. Yeah.
He's much better. He's a high upgrade over that.
Gardner Minshew.
But
Jesus.
arguably, he's the 4th best quarterback in AFC West.
Yeah, because, I mean, look who they're going up against. You got
Patty Mahomes, baby.
Patty Mahomes. You got Justin Herbert. And then you got Bo Nix for the Broncos. And let's be real here. The Broncos have stepped up their game big time.
Bo Nix is no joke. So it's like even if you put him above Bo, he's still the 3rd best quarterback in AFC West.
Right. And they are going to, honestly, they're going to struggle to topple the Chiefs.
I mean, if you look at that division, the AFC West, just as a division of coaches, you got Harbaugh, you got Sean Payton, Andy Reid, and Pete Carroll. That's got to be arguably the best division coaching-wise in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that could almost be your Mount Rushmore of football coaches in one division.
I mean, the NFC North, they have a conversation with that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
With Harbaugh and Tomlinson.
Yeah, because you got the other Harbaugh. And then Tomlinson, who, despite
Actually, no, I take that back. The Bengals coach, I think, is carried by Joe Burrow. That's just me.
But
And then
I mean,
the Browns guy's not very good.
right. But you also got to think about Tomlinson, too. Yeah, the Steelers haven't been to a playoff game.
They haven't won a playoff game.
Yeah, but he's still over 500 every season. So, I mean, he's still winning. It's just they're stumbling to get to the finish line.
I'm very, as much as I'm interested in Geno Smith, how the hell is Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. I mean, I was seeing today that they were predicting that he would have more wins in Pittsburgh than Justin Fields in New York.
Yeah, no way.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. This football season is going to be
he has
crazy.
a better coach. I mean, because
Tomlinson, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's going to.
Well, Aaron Glenn has improved himself. So, first-year head coach. We'll see how that goes. That either can be really good or really bad or very middle. You never know. But it's just like he's in a good – I'm interested to see how he does with DK Metcalf too.
Yes.
But that's a conversation for another time.
Right.
I think let's transition to our pride and joy other than VGK. The UNLV Rebels, baby.
Rebels!
So Mountain West has wrapped up media days, day 1 and day 2. and I watched clips. I've seen videos. Number one person everybody wants to talk about, Mr. Dan Mullen.
What a great addition to the UNLV family.
You know, they said season tickets are up 50% from last year. They're paying him $3.5 million a year. Like, for a group of 5 school, if you count, I hate the Pac. I hate Oregon State. I hate Washington State. Their fans are the most obnoxious people I've ever met and associated with on social media. If you look at even them from being the old Pac-12, Dan Mullen clears them salary-wise by at least $1.5 million, and it's wild. And you know, they offered Barry before Barry left to go to Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
He was making 1.7. They offered him what they're paying Mullen, if not more, to keep him. But granted, $6 million a year at a school like Purdue,
that's quite a haul,
and that's life-changing money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him in a way. I'm mad at him for leaving us, but I think Mullen might be the change that UNLV needs. Barry started. I think Mullen's going to finish it off.
Well, so if you look at we'll do a deeper dive later in our next few episodes, especially because college football is right around the corner. Because UNLV plays in a month and 5 days. Their season opens August 23rd.
Speaking of the season opening, Las Vegas fans, there are no conflicting nights games and UNLV home games. So let's go.
Yeah, make sure you go to every UNLV game you can. Ironically, they either have a game the day before or after, or they're on the road. So there's no excuse at this point. You got to fill Allegiant Stadium. You know something I saw that I think why that may have wavered fans away last year? The Tropicana project.
Yeah, that's probably true because they were talking about blowing it up so they could start the stadium.
Yeah, like I think that, I mean, if you want to drive in that mess last year,
right.
Absolutely not. But I think if you look at UNLV's schedule, I saw that ESPN's Power Index gives them a 99% chance to make a bowl game. They give them a 31% chance to win the Mountain West and a 27% chance. This before games even kick off. 27% chance to make a college football playoff. It's basically going to be them and Boise State.
Right.
They're going to play Boise twice.
Now, my question to you: do you think they go over the 8.5 win total?
I think the floor is 10.
I think the floor is 10. Okay, I agree. I think we should easily make 9. I think we could even go to 10.
You can debate me on this. I think there's 3. If they have 3 losses, it's these 3 games. UCLA,
okay,
which is they're playing a power school in Vegas. That's their chance to make a statement.
Yes.
And Dan Mullen to make a statement. But, you know, they can keep it tight and lose a close one. You know, that's not going to hurt them.
Right.
They have to go to Boise. That's a brutal place to play.
Yeah, just because of the blue field alone.
So it's like, you know, let's just say that's 50-50, right?
Right.
The one game other than I've talked about it a lot with people I know and on social media, that the 2 games that I am worried about, well, the game I'm going to mention is not even these 2 games, but the 2 games I worry about is at Colorado State and at Wyoming. Obviously, I'll throw some history at you. They have not won at Colorado State since 2003, and they have not won at Wyoming since 2002.
But you know what? History's made, right? History's made to be broken.
Well, it's these demons they have to get over. And, you know, they've cleared so many demons the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, they have 2 more. They have 3 left. Get over that hurdle and beat Boise.
Yep.
They haven't beat Boise since 1976, but that's a whole different conversation.
That's wow.
But they haven't consistently played them until the last couple of years.
Right, that's true.
So, but the one game I'm worried about is Miami of Ohio. Hear me out. You're coming off. You play Idaho State, which you should win. You play Sam Houston, which you should win. They're 14. That line's out. They're a 14-point favorite. They should win that game. You play UCLA the following week. You are sky high if you beat UCLA. You got to go to fucking, pardon my language. You got to go to a MAC school on the road and play Miami of Ohio.
Yeah. That could definitely be a trap game.
because you have a bye week and then you open the conference with Wyoming.
Yeah, that could definitely be a trap game.
So it's like one of those things where it's like you don't think it's a bad spot, but if you're not ready to play, those MAC schools can get you. Just look at Notre Dame last year.
That's true. And to all my friends still back in Houston who went to Sam Houston, sorry, Bearcats. The Rebels are going to have to mow you down. Anyway.
Oh, that's one of my favorite bets for that weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into our college picks when it's closer to college football. But UNLV laying 2 touchdowns. The reason I like it, now they got a prep game against Idaho State. That's not their first game anymore. They're going to have some film to clean up. When they put even when Barry was the coach last year, when they played FCS school, they beat Utah Tech 72-0. Imagine what Dan Mullen's going to do, put on a show for his first game.
Wow. That's crazy.
That game last year, I think you went with me that one. Maybe you did. Maybe
So
you did.
which one?
Utah, like the Utah Tech. Maybe you didn't.
No,
But-
I went to Boise with you.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They ran for like 400 and something yards that game. It was just insane. It was like anytime a running back got the ball, it was just a touchdown. But when you look at it from that perspective, it's just like you have all this hype. They've had so many national articles written about them. It's the most hype that I've ever seen around UNLV football. 8.5 is no slouch.
No.
number.
But the fact that with how many games they won last year, I think they're under.
Lock it in right now. You know, if you want to do futures parlay or straight bet, lock it in right now. UNLV plus 350 to win Mount West.
Yes, that is a great bet. It's good plus money, and plus you never know.
Boise's minus 150. They're the favorite. Lock in right now. Lock in UNLV to win the Mount West. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. They lose to Boise. They may play at Boise again for the Mount West Championship, and my baby girl will be here, so she'll be a good luck charm. But I will take her for her first road trip to Boise. I will.
Yep, I'll have to cheer from the sideline because I'm going to have work, but I will be watching on TV.
Kim already told me we can't go to Reno, so
Oh,
the baby will be 2 weeks old. We can't do that.
yeah, no, she can't travel.
But maybe it's not off the table to go to Boise. Or hopefully they beat Boise. The one wild card team, the Mountain West, is San Jose State. And you can look at their schedule. Their schedule is garbage. If you want a dark horse, take them to win the Mountain West. You can probably get them at 7 or 8 to 1. The reason I say that, they don't play Boise or UNLV in the regular season. You missed the top 2 dogs.
Wow.
So if they go undefeated, and let's just say UNLV has 1 loss and Boise has 1 loss or whatever it may be, San Jose State gets in over them.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're coming to the end of our show. It's time for us to go ahead and give you our parlay of the day. It's going to be for baseball tomorrow. I'm going to say, even though they're playing my team, Mariners first 5, because McCullers has been a little off the last couple of starts. It's been giving up a lot of runs. So I think Mariners first 5 is a good bet. Mike, who you got?
I like the Padres tomorrow. I like Yu Darvish pitching against Mitchell Parker. It's a good matchup. Depending how the Padres play tonight, I think if they win tonight, obviously it's a good ride spot. If they lose tonight, it's a good bounce back spot. Mitchell Parker has not been very good. He's 5-10 with a 5.4 ERA. He's very young and very erratic. And they have Yu Darvish pitching. Darvish is, he's 0-1. He made 1 start since coming back off the IL. His ERA is high because he didn't last long. But, it's Yu Darvish. Darvish is going to pitch well when he gets in his rhythm. This may be a good bouncing spot for him.
Yep. And then the other game I like the Giants-Blue Jays game. And you got Logan Webb going to bounce against Lauer. Honestly, I think I'd have to take Toronto's winning streak. I think the Giants, with Logan Webb on the mound, they got a chance to beat them, but I think I'm going to take Toronto over them. So there you go, guys. Our picks are Seattle first 5, Padres, and Toronto money line. Good luck if you bet it. Hope you guys win. Thank you for watching our show. Have a great day.